9440. 4405. 944405.
Welcome back, crime fighters. Time for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place for all of us. I'm Chris Wright, along with Chief Deputy John Garlick from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, as we record the show, we are exactly a week away from Christmas Day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right. Oh boy.
Somebody hasn't done all the shopping, apparently.
Yeah. I still need to get stocking stuffers.
While we're busy getting a lot of work done leading up to the holidays, our kids are already getting out of school and they're at home, hopefully at home, hopefully not
We hope they're at
roaming the
home.
streets.
Yeah, well, you know, and it's like this during every holiday. The kids are out of school and they are home and they're out and about in the neighborhoods. Young kids may be out in your neighborhood and you got to watch out for where they are. And parents, you know, if you talk to Katina Houston, parents need to be mindful of their children and give them something to occupy their time when at home.
Make sure they've got some chores to do while you're at work. And you know, today is National Bake a Cookie Day.
Really?
So have them, if they're old enough that you can trust them with the oven. If they're 4 years old at home by themselves, don't have them baking cookies.
Or get them an easy bake oven.
And definitely don't eat the raw cookie dough. The CDC is.
They've said that's bad now?
That's always been bad.
Oh.
You can get. I had a friend though that said on Facebook, said, if you see me dead near a batch of raw cookie dough, just know that I died happily.
I always thought it just stunted your growth.
And does that too, apparently. But yeah, if you got the kids at home for the holidays, make sure they got something to do. And if you've got any information to share with us, please do that. This past week, you helped us find 3 more individuals.
That's right. Look at that. Got 4,306 people brought to justice since we started doing this show. And, you know, it's really heartwarming to really see the citizens take care to let us know what's going on. And you know, that's good. I like it.
Without the help and support of the community, very limited in what the Sheriff's Office is going to be able to accomplish.
Right, you know, you never know what you don't know, and people may have heard rumors or they may have seen something, and they're like, it's not that important, or yeah, that person looks familiar, but oh, you know, this person knows them. Let us know what you know, because that small piece could make all the difference.
Absolutely. And we'll give you an opportunity by showing you this week's lineup when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Jeffrey Pilkington. Mr. Pilkington, last known to be living in Alexandria. He's wanted for a violation of a protection order, domestic violence third, failure to appear on the violation of a protection order, and failure to appear on domestic violence third. And take a look at Tiffany Spanks. Miss Spanks, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second. And this is Melissa Ferguson. Miss Ferguson, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a controlled substance. And take a look at Marcus Collins. Mr. Collins, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to pay on distribution of a controlled substance. And we'd like you to meet Bradley Hooper. Mr. Hooper, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for a bond revocation on possession of a controlled substance and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And this is Kelvin White. Mr. White, last known to be living in Alexandria. He's wanted for failure to appear on receiving stolen property third. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Michael Nunnally. Mr. Nunnally, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on use and possession of drug paraphernalia and carrying a pistol without a license. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, we'll have the second half of the lineup coming up here in just a few minutes. But John, as we roll through the holiday season.
I've got one of these again.
Yeah, we are prepared to be Christmas wrapping elves.
We are prepared because we have our chief elf right here.
Are you left-handed?
No.
Then that's on the wrong arm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll
Thought
move
you
you.
were prepared.
Now I'm ready.
Now it's facing the wrong way. You're supposed to have
it's
the big end
ambidextrous.
up this way, so
Because you're the expert.
you don't want to
on
be
that.
pulling the tape towards yourself and
And-
I'm
getting
not
it-
going to be wrapping any Christmas presents.
Susan Shipman is the executive director of
Oh,
Second
my.
Chance, and a lot of people are coming into contact with Second Chance
They
here
are.
in the last few weeks.
Yes.
As we go to shopping at the Quintard Mall,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys have got the gift wrapping stations there, and volunteers that are wrapping our gifts for us so
Yes.
that they don't look like we wrapped them
exactly.
and all messy.
Exactly.
And we can make donations to help
Yes.
with the great work that Second Chance does.
Yes, thank you very much. We do have 2 locations at the Quintard Mall. One is down by Goodies and the other is up on the Dillard's end of the mall. And there are volunteers there from the time the mall opens until the time the mall closes, wrapping gifts for donations. And things are going really well this year. And I think the super goodness of all of that is that most of the shifts are covered, and so we're not crazy, frantic running out to the mall every 2 hours to, fill a shift and wrap a box or something. Staff is not, and so that's wonderful. And the reason that that's like that is because of the wonderful staff that we have at Second Chance that puts all this together and makes this happen. And Danielle is like my right arm and my savior during this season for our gift wrapping. And then we also do a project that's called Adopt a Family, and Topeka's in charge of that. And I think we've got 14, 16 families adopted out for the holidays, so that an individual or a business or a civic group has adopted that family, and they get a list of things that we need and things that we want, and they do the buy-in, and it's really a whole lot of fun.
That's neat. That's really
Very
that's
neat.
for families that are in trouble because of
Yes,
domestic
that are either
violence,
in
yeah.
our shelter now or have been in our shelter or in our transitional housing project, and they just can't quite make it yet, for being able to get their kids some things for Christmas.
And for anybody tuning in that's not familiar with the work Second Chance does, why would they be in your shelter?
We're the domestic and sexual violence services provider for a 6-county area, and we sleep 23 at the Joy Catherine Courtney House and 4 at the Little House, which is all ADA compliant. And oftentimes when victims are fleeing domestic violence situations, they don't know what to do. They go to mama's house, or they go to the aunt's house, or they go here or go there. And because we know a victim's going to flee 5 or 7 times before they stay gone, they have been to mama's house a lot, and mama said, not this time. And so we can be the last house on the block that stands between a woman being further injured or being safe.
Just to make sure they know, they don't have to flee 5 to 7 times before
They do not,
stay gone.
absolutely not. No, absolutely not. And if they've spoken with us, then we've offered them some safety planning tips, and so that they understand, what they absolutely need to get out of the house with, and to know that it's way more dangerous for them when they're getting ready to flee, because if the batterer finds out, then they're losing control of the situation, and it gets more intense. It escalates.
So your capacity, it was like 27 or 28. So what's the demand?
It's really high. There have been 35 people in our emergency shelter. About a month ago, there were 35 people in our shelter. And so that's 12 over capacity. I say over comfortable capacity. There's really not a whole lot that's super comfortable about communal living, but we've got queen size fold out sofas, and we have those blow up camping mattresses, and 2 love seats in the offices, and we're never going to turn someone away because they don't have their own bed and pillow. We will never do that.
What's it like at Christmas in those homes? I imagine a lot of people that are in the situation wondering, what can I do about the situation at home, and they think, I don't want to be gone at Christmas and all that. I'm sure that enters into the mind. And I'm sure it's different every year, depending on who's staying there and exactly where they are. But what is Christmas like when those families are together?
In our emergency shelter,
Yeah.
it's a happy time. It's a very happy time. The shelter director, Adisa, does this amazing job of decorating the house. And now this is a really big house, so we're talking about a lot of decorating. She really enjoys doing that. And so there will be, we'll cook, there will be food, there will be lots of food, and there will be gifts unwrapped on Christmas morning, and it's really festive at the shelter during the holidays, and that's a beautiful thing because if people have come out of, nasty situations and get to be with other people that have also come out of nasty situations and know, what's going on.
You're bringing your kids there. They're not going to be waking up in a barracks somewhere with no toys that Santa Claus couldn't find them.
Right, and Santa can find you guys. Don't worry, Santa's gonna find you. Santa knows where our shelter is. You don't know, but Santa knows, and so we want to make sure the kids know that Santa's not going to fly over and not recognize them. It's a hard time for the victim to think about fleeing at Christmas time because they may have to leave all that stuff behind that's already been gathered. Well, you know what? None of that is worth the death or the further battering of a victim. All of that stuff can be replaced, and we have a lot of great donors, contributors, and supporters that help us with that. So let that not be an issue for people to not come into the shelter because it's holiday time.
We need to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Talk some more with Susan about Second Chance. We'll also have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Melissa Freeman. Miss Freeman, last known to be living in Piedmont, she's wanted for domestic violence third harassment. And please meet Coley Reeves. Miss Reeves, last known to be living in Jacksonville, she's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property first. And we'd like you to take a look at Wallace Peoples. Mr. Peoples, last known to be living in Alexandria, he's wanted on a probation violation for theft of property third. And here is Roy Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, last known to be living in Tucker, Georgia, he's wanted for failure to appear on trafficking in marijuana. And this is Larry Ashford. Mr. Ashford, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on robbery third. And last up for our lineup this week, Lydia Sellers. Miss Sellers, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for probation violation on possession of a controlled substance. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers. That number, 256-238-1414.
We'll have the Crime Stopper segment of the show in a few minutes. Also, our Crazy Criminal of the Week. It's a good one.
Uh-oh.
It's a good one. But right now we've got Susan Shipman, the Executive Director of Second Chance, with us. We've been talking about the gift wrapping happening at the Quintard Mall, which is a great fundraiser. Brings in a lot of the money that the Second Chance is able to use throughout the year. Also gives people a chance to get involved with Second Chance and tangibly understand that they are helping with the work that you do. And if people want to get involved on a more permanent basis, there may be some chances for that as well.
Yeah, we've got a couple of positions open right now and are accepting letters of interest and resumes at P.O. Box 2714, Anniston 36202. We're also accepting year-end contributions at the same address, P.O. Box 2714. Oftentimes people give at the end of the year. Some people get a tax break on that, and that's really good. And I tell my people, when we get a $10 check in, I remind them of the long tail effect of fundraising, that we're going to get a whole lot more $10 checks that add up to $100,000 than $10,000 checks that add up to $100,000. And so every dime of money that comes in is devoted to our programs and to our staffing, and we're very frugal with the money that the community contributes.
Not just frugal with how you spend it, but you're also very responsible with how you use that money to bring in additional money from the government.
Absolutely. We have some grants that require a match, and if we bring in $12,000 wrapping gifts this season, then we can get $48,000 to go with that at a 20% match ratio, and so it enables us to go after additional pots of money within our mission. It's a good thing.
It's a very good
It's a very good thing.
It's a very good thing. And at the end of the year, for people who do get a tax break, this is the time to review your tax position. And if you're looking for some place to put a donation, what better place than
Thank you.
families in trouble?
Thank you. And you can go online to GuideStar and see our most recent 990, which tells about the operations of the organization, how much money was spent on programs, and how much was spent on management, and how much was spent on raising funds. And maybe that will help you feel better about giving to us and knowing that we are good stewards of the money.
We're at the end of the year, and people are starting to think, most of us not yet, most of us
Yeah,
can't
it's
think
not
past
the 30th
Christmas, but
yet.
we're going to start thinking about those New Year's resolutions. A lot of people are going to make a New Year's resolution to lose some weight or exercise more or whatever. How about a New Year's resolution to put yourself and your children in a safe place in the new year?
There you go. That's lovely. That is an awesome thought. How about a New Year's resolution to stop battering and to stop raping? That's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
So, all right. So again, one more time, that address if people want to get in touch with you.
Thank you. It's P.O. Box 2714, and the zip is 36202. That's Anniston. They can also, if you need some help, call our crisis line at 256-236-7233. There's someone there to answer the phone 24/7. So if you need some help, or if you want to find out other ways that you can help us, dialing that number will get them in touch with one of our shelter advocates, and they'll pass along the information.
And maybe go to the Facebook page and follow the page so that you'll, throughout the year, see what's going on and keep Second Chance top of mind.
You bet. You like our page and follow the events, because we've got something going on all the time, and following the events on our page is a good way to keep up with what we're doing. So like our page and stay plugged in.
All right. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, and you guys.
Christmas,
Merry
yeah.
Christmas.
Right.
Thank you.
Go down to the Quintard Mall and get somebody else that know how to use these things to wrap your gifts and make a donation to Second Chance. John and I will be back in just a few moments. We'll have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask your help on these cases. First up, on December 11th, a home on Earl Roberts Road was burglarized. They got away with 2 Glock handguns, a Samsung television, an iPhone 4, collector coins, and various other items. And sometime between December 11th and December 12th, the maintenance building was burglarized at a location on Cane Creek Farm Road. 4 steel trimmers, a Lincoln welder, and various other tools were stolen from that maintenance building. And on December 12th, residence was burglarized on Field Road in Anniston. A white female and 2 white males were seen at the residence in a black Buick LeSabre. And last up on your caseload this week, on December 13th, a home on Old Downing Mill Road was burglarized. They got away with a firearm, a PS4, a pair of Jordan shoes, and other items. And that's it for your Crime Stoppers caseload this week. If you have any information on these cases, please give Crime Stoppers a call. That number, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, here's a tip for anybody that's planning on breaking out of the Calhoun County Jail.
Oh.
If you're getting some assistance from somebody outside and you're mailing them plans to the jail and how you want this escape to go, make sure that you address the letter correctly to the right address so that it doesn't go to the wrong person. Alamance County in North Carolina, these are the folks that were supposed to receive the letter that had the detailed drawing of the detention center, instructions for making a bomb, and a plan for the explosives to be planted on the south side of the detention center to create an escape route. Instead, the letter went to a woman nearby who thought it was intended for her, so she opened it and saw it, and she thought, well, you know what, the sheriff might be interested in seeing this.
Good for her.
Instead of the one person in jail that sent the letter, they now have all 3 of these individuals in jail.
Excellent. Way to go. A solid citizen going, this is just not junk mail. This is important.
Paying all the attention to the detailed plans of the facility and the proper way to build the explosive device, and just the right place to plant it. But you might want to spend just a few moments checking out the details of the address.
No, you shouldn't. You should send it to the person that's going to let us know.
Please, no explosives at the Calhoun County Jail.
No.
All right, that's all the time that we've got for this week. We'll be looking for you again in the new year on Calhoun County's Most Wanted, but hopefully not in the lineup.